Travis Rogers, a seasoned entrepreneur. Rogers has been active and successful in building businesses and taking them to liquidity. Mr. Rogers is currently CEO of RecordLink Dental Software and Dr. DDS Dental Marketing. Prior to joining RecordLink and Dr. DDS, Rogers founded startups Bright White Teeth Whitening, Mustang Technology, and the Talent Roundtable. Roger is known in the dental industry as the referral doctor. I love that. The referral doctor, helping dentists build and manage referrals more efficiently. He has recently finished building the RecordLink referral machine, and we're excited to hear more about that. Travis Rogers, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Bert. Appreciate it. I'm excited to talk about the referral machine, how we can help, not just dentists. I mean, the concepts apply, the concepts we're talking about, and some of the white papers we put out recently about increasing referrals, increasing reviews, they apply to both really any type of industry. I mean, our target market is working with dentists and dental vendors, but the concepts we're going to talk about today briefly will really be applied to any of the listeners on the phone or on the show.
Great. On the show, yeah. So let's get into it. First of all, why don't you tell us about the RecordLink referral machine? What is this about?
So the RecordLink referral machine is really an end-to-end process, and in the sense we've productized it as well. But the referral machine just really helps businesses improve the number of referrals that they get, improve reviews as well. You know, we know that the most cost-effective way to uncover new business is through referrals. So, achieving a rate of referrals is really key to building any successful business, but specifically a dental practice or medical practice as a whole. Not only does it increase profits, but they're also, generally the best kind of patients that people want. So we have the referral machine is it's built inside of RecordLink, and it allows you to track and manage referrals really from end to end. So when we talk about referrals, we've got a lot of different sources of referrals. Best referrals are coming from patients, but you could consider that online sources, SEO, SEM is also a referral source as well. So we help folks track that. But referrals already have a positive attitude. The patients that are referring over to you, or your customers that are referring already have a positive attitude about your business or your practice. So it really requires little encouragement to become a patient or to become a customer. If you trust the referring source of somebody saying, hey, go there, check this out, you sort of sign up for whatever they're telling you to sign up for. So referrals are the most cost-effective, the best way, and the best way we want to do that. So, there's a lot of factors in doing that. There's really two factors that reduce the need for time-consuming sales pitches as well, so you don't spend your time talking about that. So, we can talk more about that if you'd like. I can talk about some of the common mistakes that people make. Yeah.
Yeah. So you beat me to it. So let's talk about that. What are some of the common mistakes that you see people making when they're setting up referrals or asking for referrals?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the biggest mistakes that we see people do is, when a referral is sent over, there's sometimes a disconnect, a lack of engagement that happens with that referral. So once the referral is presented, it's sort of perceived as a done deal by the business or the dentist, and so what we like to see is our folks really engage with that referral. And it doesn't have to necessarily be through formal phone calls or things like that. It's just that you don't want to, part of the referral machine is really the ability to, when a referral is sent over, automatically engage with that patient. So that patient gets to know who the doctor is. Well, we can give them some sort of education on the business or the dentist, but also engaging in immediately scheduling an appointment. And so, I encourage all businesses to do this. It's some sort of automated appointment scheduling piece that also includes appointment reminders and those types of things. So, in other words, you're not losing that referral as a part of the process. One of the second things that we find is that most people don't have any kind of dedicated resources to managing referrals. So, one of the keys to getting more referrals is just typically assigning a resource. I'm always shocked when specialists come to me, dental specialists in particular, and I ask them, can I talk to your referral coordinator? And they say, well, we don't have a referral coordinator. I say, well, what's the number one source of customers and patients for you? It's referrals. So why would you not have a dedicated resources for referrals? I'd say those are two of the most common mistakes I see when it comes to referrals. There's a lot of other ones. You only want so some people don't value referrals because they don't have a tracking mechanism. Sometimes they get bad referrals from certain people and they lose credibility on those referrals. So a lot of other issues. But the two main common mistakes that people are making is they're not engaging with referrals and they're not dedicating resources to referrals. So
yeah, you know what? And I'm glad you brought that up. I find that to be one of those fascinating, so what do you call it? Obvious things, right? If first you have somebody who's going to take care of your referrals, and as you said earlier, they're already pre-sold, and they really should have they should really be taken care of. And second of all, having somebody dedicated, having a system in place to say, hey, you were referred by Travis Rogers. We love Travis, and we can't wait to have you come in, and we're going to take care of you. And if and here's our phone number. By the way, Cindy is the contact person for you, and and life is great. Contact Cindy. Let's make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the problems that we also see, a couple other issues that, you got to ensure that your location is also set to be referrals. So one thing is tracking it both online and through engagement of that patient or that prospective patient. So setting up sequences, there's great marketing tools out there aside from ours even that you can immediately get that person into a prospecting style. So, you set up a sequence, whether it be emails, text messages, whatnot, phone calls, just tracking the tasks and tracking the activities, and a lot of it can be automated. But one of the things that we're also seeing is that a lot of these offices just aren't fit to be referred to. You got to be proud of who you're referring. So first impression of your practice matters. It's kind of like going on a first date and not taking a shower or not being well dressed. You're not gonna get a second date. So, the other part of it is just make sure your staff, make sure your team members are there to really warmly welcome the referral. I see a lot of my successful referring offices. They put a board up in their office that says, "Thank you, Sally Smith for referring John Doe to our practice," and just kind of highlighting it. Another thing is, really just asking for referrals. A lot of people, the number one, I'd say, issues that people make is that they just don't ask for referrals, and they don't have any kind of way of tracking it. So having a publicized referral program, and also the other big part of it is also, holding contests. And, we all like the gamification of just about everything in life. So holding a contest, tracking points, giving gifts and promotions. Sometimes the gift piece is a little bit a fine line to walk ethically in the dental industry, but it's big for, children, and it's big for, pediatric offices or orthodontic offices. So kind of got to tread lightly on the gift program, but I'm always welcoming new patients with sort of gift, and that being a part of the program. The other piece of it is also a regular newsletter. I mean, this works well for just about any type of businesses. Creating a newsletter that just kind of keeps an educational process going with your patients. Maybe it's here's something new in the community, or here's something new, a new service that we've got, or just some sort of education. Those are, a regular newsletter, and those also can just be automated as well. And the key to success, I'd say, in the whole program is also integrating with the practice management system, is what the dentists call it. So basically, this is where they house all their data, all their patients. So just setting up all this stuff to happen automatically, and that's part of the referral machine. So
yeah, so let's talk about this because a lot of people have, as you mentioned, practice software. They have a CRM or they have some way of tracking this information. And I know that you've probably seen this even more than I have. But one of the things that always boggles my mind is how how expensive these systems are, and then how little they're utilized. That a lot of the people who own these expensive systems have no idea what they're doing.
Well, the biggest issue, and if you've ever logged in or if you've ever been at your dentist's office, you can't even imagine how difficult it is because they pack so many buttons, so many functions inside of these tools. So that's why pulling the pertinent information. I mean, basically all you need is, who's the patient, what's their phone number, what's their email. Obviously, you got to be really careful from a HIPAA compliance perspective. You want to make sure that you're not exposing any kind of personally identifiable information or whatnot to folks, but we obviously help our customers do that. But it's just mind-boggling what these systems have tried to track or tried to pack into one system, and it also just makes it relatively unusable. So, yeah, I mean, organizing the information, things like that, and also. There's systems out there. There's great systems that allow you, when the person calls in, to just pop up and know who that patient is. Those types of systems work really well as well. Other things that kind of we see people be successful at is organizing patient appreciation events. So if you want to have, cookies. Sometimes it's just a small thing like a
sure.
patient, cookies during the holiday seasons or a lunch, or, I mean, some of our customers, Dr. Chamberlain here in Chandler, Arizona, gives away a car to one of his most, highly influential patients and the most referrals. So, it's all about how you get, creative on and kind of that whiz-bang approach to it and publicizing it and really leveraging the influence. So big part of the referral engine and referral machine is really understanding the clout scores, the influence of your particular patients, because you can't necessarily focus your time on all your patients to do referrals. You really want to focus on sometimes the most influential. So that's a big part of it, is understanding, social media. There's a lot of scoring techniques and things like that you figure out who the most influential people are, and just kind of get to know your patients and look for opportunities to find experts in whatever industry you're in as well, because the referrals also can come from experts outside of your patient list as well. So
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, the core is just making sure referrals is at the heart of your marketing strategy. I mean, that's what it comes down to. There's no more. I mean, you can send mass emails, you can send mailers, you can send costly advertisements, but again, the most cost-effective way for businesses in general, but specifically for dental practices, is really, increasing referrals and better managing it and just making sure you're engaging with them immediately.
Yeah, no, I like that. And you know what? So I want to back up a little bit because, first of all, everybody agrees, hey, referrals is, probably the best source of clients. But depending on where you are in your business cycle, referrals may not be possible for you. Or, let me rephrase it, a lot of referrals may not be possible for you. So let's talk marketing. And again, I know that that you work specifically with dentists, but whatever you do for dentists probably applies to a lot of different businesses. So what are some of your top marketing tips for dentists?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're seeing a big trend towards, we've seen a trend towards a volume of reviews. In today's digital world, online reviews is really critical to business success or failure. And for dental practices, it's definitely the same as it is for enterprises. I think it's upwards of 70% of consumers these days look at reviews to pick their providers. So you got to have definitely have some volume of reviews, even some bad reviews, one or two bad reviews that is actually approach. I mean, people they shy away so much about just tracking. They only want the best reviews, and that's true. I mean, obviously we want to see at least a 4.5 score on reviews. And a big part of the referral machine is really being able to track and have more people give you those 4 to 5 star reviews, because we want to track those, get feedback from the ones that are rating you low and then send them down a different way. And then those that are giving you 4 and 5 stars, you send them to your online review. So it's a really simple process for doing that. But the biggest issue is that people just don't ask for reviews. So you got to ask for reviews. Obviously be tactful about how you ask for it. I mean, we like to say ask for feedback. And if they give you a 1 to 3 star rating, then you definitely want to make sure you're calling that patient, reaching out to them immediately, figuring out what you can do to help make it a more positive experience. I mean, even some audacious return policies if somebody's unhappy. Give them their money back. And I'll tell you what, that goes a long way, and they may actually flip from being an unhappy customer to a happy customer. But even online, just addressing the reviews that you're getting online, saying thank you, saying to those that are giving you negative reviews, not jumping on them and really being overly aggressive. We've seen the effects of that in really all aspects of life, politically and whatnot. You want to come in and be relatively kind in your response, even though it may be the patient's or the customer's fault. But definitely do respond and say, something about we'll give you a full refund or we'll come in and make it better. We'll do whatever we can to make our customers happy.
Sure.
So
well, you know what? I want to interject this. Look.
Yeah.
If you're doing volume business, you're not going to make everybody happy, and that's okay. So
exactly.
I think that you have to look at it and say, so if you're, let's say 90 or 95% of your clients are happy with you, and for the most part, you can look at your reviews and you can see that maybe you have 10 bad reviews out of 100. That's not bad. There's room for improvement, but it's not bad. However, if you are, let's say, 30% negative, every third review is bad, then that is a mechanism, a signal, if you will, that something is wrong and you need to make a change. And maybe it's a staff that needs to be retrained. Maybe it's an experience that is happening over and over again, and you need to find out. So reviews are sometimes a great way to help, fix things in your business. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. And I think consumers are getting good at sniffing through the BS on this too. If there's 100% 5-star reviews and they all look like very canned reviews, people are sniffing through that and saying, hey, this guy actually has less credibility in my mind than if he has 1 or 2 bad, or not necessarily bad, but even reviews that are more realistic. We all have our bad days. We're all off, Maybe the front desk woman has, you never know what those things are. But, you definitely want to collect that feedback. And, the best time to collect that feedback is really either during the appointment or right after the appointment. It's got to be fresh in their mind. They're more likely to post additional comments. So rather than just a 1 to 5 star, I think what the important things are is also that you're getting comments from your patients as well. And sending it in as much of a personalized manner as you can. That also really helps increase that as well. But the best way to streamline and automate it is really is also a part of the referral request process. You're asking for a review. In a sense, it's very much tied to referrals. One of the best ways to ensure that high volume of reviews is typically by sending out a email request using direct integration to their practice management system. So in other words, it happens automatically, and it's either a text message or to review. We see actually a higher volume of reviews that come from text messages than we do from emails. So if there's a way that you could text message, and obviously you have to comply with both the Consumer Assessment of Health. There's an organization called CHHPS. I'll spare you the details, but basically between that and HIPAA, you got to be a little bit more conscious of it with the healthcare side. But you want to always encrypt the information, things like that. But again, it's all timing, and it's all just making sure you're responding and reviewing all the reviews that come across. So
absolutely. You know what? And something else. Speaking of texting, look, most everybody now has a HD camera, video camera on their phone, and if somebody is willing and able to give you a review, a video review, I think that's a new level of of sharing credibility and love with your customers and saying, hey, what do you call it? Bob and Cindy had to say this about their last visit. And so what do you think? Are videos a great review process?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, in fact, that's timely that you say that, because the next thing on our roadmap of the referral machine is adding in, we have a patient application called My Dental Files. So it's at mydentalfiles.com, but it's also the only app on the iTunes store for patients to be able to fill out forms one time and send it to all their doctors that they work with. And then the next part of that is also scheduling appointments and rescheduling. But the next thing that we're rolling out is a video component, video reviews that then the doctor, obviously, what the big part about running it through an application like that, especially from a HIPAA compliance perspective, is you need to make sure you have approval to post those videos. So, with all the social media stuff, doctors in particular are just very conscious of HIPAA compliance. So our app will ensure that we're asking for proper approval to post those videos, but they'll do it right inside an application. So it'll actually send them a notification right after the appointment. It'll say, please send us a video review. And what we're doing is actually gamifying it, putting it into a contest. And you can do this inside a system or outside of a system. But who's posting the best video about either treatment or the doctor himself, or how you've used that service or that product that you're buying. So creating a contest for your customers or your patients in this case that says, hey, we're running a contest for the best video talking about how you've utilized our service. And it's sort of implied, an industry expert once told me that you should do a lot of video with people, and it's an implied validation and implied endorsement of your business if it has your business behind it. So that's one of your techniques. That's one of the things I learned from you is more video, put your brand behind it, and it's always an implied endorsement if somebody else is in the video talking about even their own product, but with your logo or your information behind it. It's very, very, very powerful.
Absolutely. Hey, Travis, we're out of time. It's good to have you on the show, and looking forward to having you back again talking about marketing and what's trending in the dental industry. Travis Rogers, thank you so much for stopping by.
Great. Thanks for having me, Bert.
You bet. Good stuff there from CEO Travis Rogers from RecordLink, and that's spelled RecordLinc. Yeah, so it's no K on there. It's recordlink.com for more information if you want to find out how RecordLink can help your practice.